Ever feel like the harder you hustle, the further away freedom feels? You're not imagining it. In this episode, I'm busting the most common myths entrepreneurs believe about growing and scaling their business. Beliefs that are secretly, possibly keeping you stuck. And I'll show you the shifts that actually create more profit, more ease, and more freedom. So stay tuned. What if I told you the biggest things you believe about growing your business could actually be the very things that are keeping you stuck? What if scaling wasn't about working harder, creating more offers, or waiting until you hit that magic revenue goal, but actually about something completely different? Today, I'm busting the myths that hold entrepreneurs back from real growth. And I'm not just talking theory. You'll hear the mistakes I made, the beliefs I had to unlearn, and the shifts that finally gave me more profit, more freedom, and more joy in my business. If you've ever wondered why it still feels so hard, even though you're doing all the right things, this episode is going to flip the script for you. And the first myth I want to bust is one that I see so many entrepreneurs fall for. This idea that you have to reinvest every single dollar in your business back into the business. Let's talk a little bit about why this belief is keeping you stuck, what the price is you're actually paying for it, and what you should be doing instead. So, myth number one is the myth that you have to reinvest everything you make back into your business. Look, smart reinvestment is essential, but founders also need to pay themselves to avoid burnout. I totally get it. When the profit and loss starts touching the red, it's tempting to want to pay yourself less in order to cut costs or to see your business grow and put off paying yourself until one day, until you make X amount of money. But here's the truth. You are not an expense. You are your business's biggest asset, and your family deserves the income you make in exchange for the time that they sacrifice to be with you. I am so grateful that early in my business, I set up a rule that I will treat my salary as an employee's salary. And if I'm still employed by this business, then I will get my salary paid every single month. It has been the best thing I did for myself. Even when it has been harder and I've had to let people go to keep cash flow going, one thing I never ever stopped doing was paying my own salary. Without me, there is no business. The biggest benefit of this I found was that I can be so much more present for my kids and my family when I know that the time I spend away from them is enabling them to play the sports that they want to play, get the braces they need, go on the holidays to Japan and the US and everywhere else we've been in the last 10 years. And I know that when I'm working, I can kick them out of my office, tell them to leave because it is now time for me to earn money. And that creates a really clear boundary for me. So in a way, paying myself, no matter what, created a healthy boundary or a healthy agreement between my family and I so that there's no guilt, there's no resentment. Nobody feels like they're need to be pulled in a million different directions and deliver everywhere because the lines are clean. There's no negotiating our lifestyle. The business is here to serve us, not the other way around. And I know that that comes with a responsibility to manage the business and the profit and loss and the marketing and the clients and everything in such a way that I can sustain that boundary. So how can you start paying yourself first every single month, starting now? Even if it's just a small bit of money that you set aside and you start building that up to a healthy salary? What non-negotiables would you need to put into place about managing other expenses in order to make this sustainable? What other non-negotiables would need to be put into place about running regular promotions and selling your courses every single month to maintain sales momentum and support paying yourself a regular salary? Think about that. There might be some boundaries and some non-negotiables that you need to reshuffle so that you place paying yourself first on the hierarchy of expenses in your business. And that leads very nicely into the second myth that I want to bust. And that myth is the belief that once I hit X revenue per month, once I hit 6 figures, once I hit 7 figures, once I hit 10K, things will be easy. Every revenue level brings new challenges. Ease doesn't come from growth. Ease comes from building systems, not just from hitting a number. And I really genuinely wish someone told me this when I started my business. And probably they did. I just didn't listen. Or in those first 3 years when it was all just one big learning curve and one giant expense. If you wish you are where you're not now, you will wish you are where you're not then. This will be a constant source of dissatisfaction for you, and your brain will continue to look for ways in which you are not yet where you want to be. Not yet as successful as you want to be. Not yet what you pictured life will look like once you get there, in inverted commas. Here's the reality. Where you are now is exactly where you need to be. And I can tell you that I remember hearing someone say that to me in that first 3 years, and it made me so angry. I felt angry. Someone saying, you are exactly where you need to be, but now I get it. What you have built up till now is exactly what you have built up with what you knew. But what you know today is what's going to build the future. What you have today is the past, what you prayed for having. It's what you wished for. It's what you manifested. So what you have today and where you are today is exactly where you need to be. You will never feel like you've hit your goals when you get there if you don't feel like you've hit them right now. I always say to my kids, everywhere you go, there you are. Things will not get easier. The challenges just become different, and you become smarter at creating ease in your business. When I finally hit the revenue goals I needed to quit my job back in 2018, I thought it was going to be absolutely pure bliss. Waking up each day, working from home, and paying myself what I was earning working full-time in a job. And within 3 months, I remember talking to my coach at the time and telling him that I am absolutely, completely riddled by fear. And I have this constant dread that the other shoe is going to drop. And you know what he said to me? He said, welcome to growth. He told me about how he had dreamt of making $1 million in 1 year and that he did it the previous year. And he confessed to me that he, at that point, never hated his business more. And I could see it in his mental health. So I want us to unpack what that means for you. Maybe you need to take some quiet time, sit somewhere comfortable. I have this little spot in my in my office this black comfy chair with a black footstool. And next to it, I have a little table with a candle and my journal that I write in with a real ballpoint pen using my real hand. I write my thoughts down there, and I can page back and read what I wrote, which is very helpful for me. Maybe you need to sit down and ask yourself, what is the discontentment about? What is the frustration about? And what if you did believe that where you are right now is exactly where you need to be? Did you perhaps somewhere in your life pick up a belief that you have to keep striving? You have to keep growing? And are there any traces of shame attached to just being content where you are right now? That was huge for me. That was so powerful. I think it has to do with growing up in South Africa, where we do have a competitive culture. And I am a competitive person by nature. And it also has to do with capitalism and, all the things, individualism, culture, where we are in the world right now in 2025. I had to learn to let go of shame attached to revenue or growth goals that I didn't achieve or that I hadn't yet achieved. Because everywhere I went, it wasn't big enough yet. It wasn't big enough yet. It wasn't big enough yet. And so it just didn't matter which goals I hit. I have next level shame. It's 3 years of therapy. Look at me now. So healthy. But the funny thing is, when I learned to let go of that, everything became easier. And my hope is that for you, it'll get easier as well. And as it does, then you can start to scale. But for me, as things did get easier and I did start to scale, it brought up a whole new fear for me. And I wonder if you've had this one too. And this is myth number 3. Scaling means losing personal touch. Have you ever had that fear? Worried that you'll have too many students, that you won't be able to serve them, so you hold back in your launch? Automation and team support can genuinely enhance customer service when it's done right. Back in 2021, I had 4 or 5 different student groups I was serving, mostly by myself. And when I say by myself, I had team members supporting me with admin, supporting me with, the facilitation of the group. But I was the only teacher in the group. And I had some ads managers helping me out with posts in the group, but most of the burden I carried. And I believed that if I brought other people in to help me, I would lose that connection that I had with my students because I loved that connection. But it was unsustainable keeping up with a number of live calls each week, managing a team, and serving our agency clients. And I started with the membership, and then I started adding bonus calls. And I started thinking about how can I facilitate a handover to other people so that they help me teach and serve these students without losing my personal touch. And so the first thing that I did was I invited some people who worked for me, copywriter, some people who were contractors on my team, launch managers. There were some of my students. I invited them to do bonus calls and some other contractors that I had to go and source. I invited them to do bonus calls and brought them on as a once-off, just a bonus call, to see how my students respond to them and to see if they like them. And those bonus calls went really well, right? As I knew they would because I vetted the people. And then I made the announcement to them that instead of my weekly calls, I will now be doing bi-weekly calls, but you'll be getting these 4 extra calls every week. to this day, I talk to from my students from years back who tell me that they went and worked with these people, or they are still talking to these people, they're still consulting with these people, or these people are still consulting for them or working for them. And they tell me how much they appreciated me putting them in touch with these people, and how much they love working with them. And if I had to do it again today, I would have done that sooner, and I would have done it more permanently. All it took was to manage and navigate the change in a way that helped my students feel safe and taken care of. See, people don't mind change. They don't mind if you take a step back when they see value in what they signed up for. What they don't like is feeling like you did a bait and switch. So sit down and ask yourself, if I had to manage a change in my course or membership so that my people felt safe and taken care of, and I get to hand off some of the support, what would that look like? How can it work for me and for my students? What new systems do I need to create? What new people do I need to hire? And what would a communication plan for this transition look like? When you ask yourself those questions, your brain's going to produce the answers. And you might just come up with a really great solution to free up maybe 1, maybe 3, maybe 5 hours a week. When you plan the transition and you create those support systems, you may just end up creating something way more valuable than what you were able to deliver on your own. And I bet you'll get your time back. And when you start to get your time back, then it may be time to start running some more ads. Which brings me to myth number 4. Hey friends, quick break from the episode because I've got something really exciting to share with you. In September, the Launch Lounge agency is opening up just 2 spots for course creators who are ready to scale. Now here's the cool part. We don't just run the ads for you. We actually become your growth partner. That means looking at your entire marketing strategy and helping you connect the dots. And we've built some really powerful AI tools that make your copy stronger, your webinars more engaging, and your sales process smoother, so you can get more conversions without extra stress. The best part? Our clients are finally getting off the launch roller coaster, seeing consistent sales come in, and more importantly, they're getting their time back. So if you're making at least 6 figures a year, you've got an offer your audience loves, and you're serious about scaling, I'd love for you to apply. Just head over to thelaunchlounge.com/agency. But don't wait, because these 2 spots will go fast. All right, now let's get back to the episode. Myth number 4 is one that I address almost on a daily basis. It's the myth that ads are only for big businesses. Paid traffic is often what allows small businesses to reach the next level when it's paired with the right strategy. I hate when people just go willy-nilly boosting posts. Every ad needs to be supported by the right strategy. This thinking that ads are only for big businesses, it creeps in when we mistakenly believe that ads are going to save us, or ads will be a miracle solution to making more sales. It's very easy to look at someone else's data from their 6-figure launch and think, I'm not there yet, so I can't drop 30K on ads in a launch like they did. But here's the kicker. Marketing is never successful because of one winning tactic. Ads are a source of traffic. Marketing is how you move those leads through your funnels, and sales is how you make money. It is never just one. It has to be all 3. And it's easy to miss that when you're looking at another business's Instagram post where it looks like they've had a large ad budget and a lot of revenue coming from those ads. It is an oversimplification. So here's an example of what you can do right now with a small budget to help you achieve your goals faster. If you're using social media to build your email list and you're frustrated that the algorithm is not putting your social media content in front of enough people daily, set up some engagement ads and create your warm custom audiences and then run $5 a day engagement ads that'll bring new people into your account on autopilot every single day. Now, once they get there, you'll need to post some list building content to move them to your email list. So you might need to adapt your social media strategy a little bit to have more list building posts. But this will speed up the process of building your email list mostly organically. And all it's going to take is $5 a day. If you only have $1 a day, use $1 a day. And then when you can afford it, spend $10 a day on list building ad. See how quickly you can grow your email list. I see so many new entrepreneurs invest in fancy technology. Oh my goodness, it drives me nuts. They buy this fancy technology, software systems, so that they would look pro before they even have 1,000 people on their email list. And I always think, if you took that money that you're paying for that software and put it into list building ads, you would be making money much faster than if you put it into tech, tools, or equipment. If you don't know how to get started with list building ads or engagement ads, remember I have a free course where I show you exactly how to get started with Facebook and Instagram ads. It's called the 5-Day Video Training and it's on my site, and we'll link to it in the show notes. But you can also grab it at thelaunchlounge.com/get my ad up. And once your ads are up and you're building your list and you're growing your audience, you may find yourself confronted with myth number 5. Myth number 5 is, I need to launch something new to grow. I am so guilty of this one. And I think all of my ADHD pals will giggle because you'll see yourself in this one too. I love a new thing. I am an inventor. I'm a pioneer. So once something works, I'm done. I'm bored. I'm moving on. My brain is searching for the new challenge. But I learned that came at a very high cost to my long-term mental health and my ability to stop the hustle and build something that can run without me. Once the agency was up and running, I launched A-Lister. And then I added the Launch Lounge membership. And then I added a lower dollar membership for students in A-Lister that wasn't quite ready for the Launch Lounge. And then I launched a high-level group coaching program. And before I knew it, I had 4 or 5 student groups to manage, 18 clients, a podcast, and a nervous breakdown. Now, today, it's all about simplicity. How can I create something once and then leverage that resource? Later in the year, I'll be relaunching A-Lister for the first time since 2023 with brand new content, and I can't wait. But you know what I'm not creating? A single new social media post, a single new email, a single new landing page, or a single new webinar, because I am building on what is already there so that I don't have to work so hard to scale my business. I already have 3 years of webinars, emails, social media posts, all the things. It's there, it's built, it's done. No need to reinvent it. Just going to rinse and repeat. So I'm curious, is there a course or an offer in your business that you keep thinking you have to create one day? Do you keep thinking you have to add that membership to your course or launch that low dollar offer that comes before the course? Or do you keep thinking you need to offer what your competitor is selling? Let me ask you this. What if you gave yourself permission to create the new thing only after you have fully optimized the existing thing. Maybe the new thing myth is one you've already mastered, and this next one is the one that keeps you growing. This is myth number 6. It's the myth that says more followers equal more sales. How many times have you felt like if I can just get more eyeballs on my offers, then it'll convert? Yes, I know, because I hear it. Audience growth alone does not create revenue. Without conversion systems, bigger audiences just leak out of the funnel. If you're new here, you may not have heard me say this, but for those of you who have been here a few years, you'll know this really well by now. There are 3 key pillars and one piece of glue that holds it all together in any expert business marketing, whether it's a coaching business, a course, a membership, even a service-based business like our agency. And those pillars are: number 1, build your profitable audiences. Number 2, make offers your ideal customer cannot refuse. Number 3, execute a profitable funnel or a profitable launch mechanism. And the glue that holds it all together is magnetic messaging. The other day, I was presenting the basics of what we do and how we make money online as course creators to a video creation agency. These are people who create incredible video content. And I was walking them through how we build audiences using social media and list building and our email marketing so that we can communicate with our lists. And then we invite them to join us in some kind of launch mechanism or a live event where we take them through a series of messages until they buy our courses. And they were blown away. They'd never heard of any of this at all, which is amazing. And somebody said, yeah, sure. But basically, you have to sell your soul online all day on social media before you can make any sales. And I shared with him that I made $1 million in online sales before I had 3,000 followers on Instagram. And he could not believe it. Because here's the thing. It's not how big the audience is that matters. It's where they are in your funnel and how well you're creating content that moves them from one place in your funnel to the next. Think about how much time you spend trying to get new followers versus how much time you spend emailing your existing list offers. Even nurturing your existing email list and having regular promotions go out to your existing list. Are you stuck in bigger audience paralysis, or can you honestly say that when someone joins your email list, they will be offered something they can buy within 30 days? If you can't say that, it's very possible you've fallen victim to this lie and you may not even have realized it. Which brings us to the last and probably the most dangerous myth of them all. This is number 7. This myth is the myth that says scaling or growing means working harder. Many believe that growing or scaling means working longer hours. In reality, scaling simply requires better systems. It requires more team members, more leverage, not more hustle. The only time scaling means hustling harder is when you believe you are the only one who can do things as well as they should be done. Or I've discovered something I do that I know leads to hustling harder. And that is to hold on to menial tasks before handing it off to my VA. Because it'll take me an hour to teach him to do it how I do it, when it's going to take me 5 minutes to do it by myself. Sounds familiar? Here's an example of this where I challenge myself daily. Last week, I had to stop to take an hour to set up a Zapier automation so that each time I have a call with one of our mentoring students, my assistant automatically gets a reminder to upload that recording of our call to a folder and link to that folder in the coaching portal that we use. And I've been sending him manual reminders after every call, then linking the call in the portal myself every week. And guess what? Sometimes I forget. It's not ideal. So I put it on my list of to-dos to create this automation 2 months ago. And 2 months later, there it still was staring at me. Because every time in the moment, I think, I've got other things I need to do. It'll only take me 5 minutes to do it myself. And then that's, I just do it myself until I forget to do it. So I took an hour and I set up the automation and I showed him what to do. And now I never have to think about this again. The brain space that was freed up in my mind, it's one less tab that needs to be open, is fabulous. So I wonder, can you make a list of everything you do in your business that'll take an hour to hand off? But it will save you from ever doing it again, even if it's just a 5-minute task. Beware of that. Oh, it only takes 5 minutes trap, because you pay the price for that by needing to keep unnecessary tabs open in your brain. Plus, you deny your assistant the opportunity to learn and grow so that they can take on even bigger things later, so that they can take on the thing that's going to take you an hour. So you end up saving hours. If this is hitting home for you, please follow our show and subscribe to the show, because in October, we're going to have a full series of episodes coming out all about how course creators can use ads to grow their audiences. Before wrapping this up, I want to give you my quick list of scaling mistakes to avoid so that you know you're doing it right, so that you know you're growing in ways that are sustainable and that give you more freedom. Here's my list of mistakes. Number 1, reinvesting everything. Do not starve yourself. Pay yourself first, or you're going to burn out fast. Number 2, chasing easy in inverted commas. Thinking that one magic number will make business simple is not going to work. The truth is, every stage has its own challenges. And the better you get at creating systems and processes now, the better you'll be at it when you hit that magic number. Number 3, avoiding automations. I feel like I've said so much about that today. Believing that systems or team support equal losing your personal touch. When it's done right, handing things off to other people and automating processes can create more connection, not less. Next mistake, waiting until you're big enough to run ads. Ads are not for someday. They're a growth tool you can use right now if you have the right strategy and you know where to get the right strategy. Next mistake, always creating new offers. More isn't better. Optimized is better. Scaled is better. Optimize and scale what you already have before piling on new stuff. Next mistake, obsessing over followers. Followers do not pay the bills. They do not pay the bills. Buyers do. Focus on conversions, not on vanity metrics. And last mistake, doing it all yourself. Telling yourself it'll only take 5 minutes will keep you stuck in hustle mode. Train your team, build the systems, free your brain. Here's what I want you to take away today. Growing your business doesn't have to mean hustling harder, piling on new offers, or waiting until you make it before you invest in yourself. Scaling is about building smarter systems making some bold decisions that might be uncomfortable, and remembering that where you are right now is already proof of how far you've come. You have everything you need to step into your role as the creator of your freedom empire. So stop chasing someday and start optimizing what's already in your hands. And trust yourself to build the kind of business that gives you more income, more impact, and more freedom. Because the truth is, your empire is already in motion. And now it's just time to grow it on your own terms. Please join me again next Tuesday, September the 23rd, when I bring you my client, Laura Barnard. Laura has been working with us in the agency this year, and you will love hearing about how she was able to 3x her revenue for her infant massage course between April this year and August this year. You'll also hear about the slightly odd, possibly creepy bonus she used to create a fast action bonus frenzy on her webinar. Join me on Tuesday, and remember to follow and subscribe to the show wherever you listen. I'll talk to you soon. Bye. If you've been feeling like social media is sucking the life out of you, or you're tired of spinning your wheels trying to build your list with little to show for it, then listen up. Inside our completely free 5-day Facebook and Instagram ads training, you'll discover exactly how much to spend on ads to make them work specifically for your business. I'll walk you through step-by-step how to set up ads that actually get results. Navigate the ads manager with confidence, even when Zux keeps changing everything, and boost your email list signups instead of just boosting posts. The best part, you'll get lifetime access to all the updated strategies that are working right now in 2025. And you can revisit the training anytime you need a refresher. Ready to stop guessing and start growing your list with confidence? Join over 10,000 others who've taken this course now. Head over to thelaunchlounge.com/getmyAdUp or click the link in the show notes. Your future students are scrolling right now. Let's make sure they find you.